What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the vault. My name is Money, and today I am doing a video that I have always wanted to do but have just been continually putting it off for a while. This was a segment I did almost a year and a half ago where I showed you guys an inside look at my Walking Dead collection and my Scooby-Doo collection. Scooby-Doo collection, as you guys can see, is still holding strong, but my Walking Dead collection, on the other hand, yeah. Fuck that show. So today I wanted to bring back that segment where I show you guys an inside look at a specific set in my collection, and today we're doing the unthinkable. I'm showing you guys my complete Scott Pilgrim versus the World Funko Pop collection. Now this is a set that I've been collecting since day one with San Diego Comic-Con 2016, and I have been following it every single convention, every single year, and it has been nothing but a fucking headache trying to get my hands on everything for this fucking set. So, I might as well show it to you guys. The first pop in this set is Scott Pilgrim, of course. Now, this was one of the 3 commons for the set, and it was super easy to get my hands on. I went to my local FYE, I picked it up, and I brought it home. And I wish that all the Scott Pilgrim pops were like this, but I'm not that lucky. Scott here is holding the drawing of Ramona when he's trying to figure out, he's trying to describe Ramona to other people at a party, and he's like, this is what she looks like, and I think it's really funny how they gave him the crushed up cup and the drawing of Ramona. Second comment in this set is Ramona Flowers, and this one was a bit more difficult to get my hands on. I kind of put off getting Ramona because I had other variants of her, and actually Ramona I only got about a year or 2 ago. I didn't have this from the get-go. I had been putting it off because the price had been low, nobody really was after it, and then all of a sudden the price started to skyrocket a little bit on it, so I decided to pick it up on eBay. This Ramona pop is really nice with the pink hair. I think the pink hair Ramona is my favorite out of all of them, and as far as the common goes, it's definitely a common. Now Knives is pretty cool. It's a really nice looking pop, I think. Now she has the least amount of pops out of everybody in this set. Kind of doing a look down here on my table, and it seems that she only has 2 variants, which is kind of interesting considering what a main character she is. But at the end of the day, I'm not sure what other variants I've heard they could possibly do outside of what they already did. So I guess in a way it kind of makes sense, but this is the 3rd common from this set. And believe it or not, this is the last pop in this set that won't have a sticker on it. So that's pretty crazy. The next pop in this set is the Sex Bomb 3-pack, and this one was a fucking nightmare to get my hands on. And at the time of making this video, this thing is worth $480, which is absolutely wild. And every time I look at this thing, I'm like, Scott Pilgrim or $480? I'm not really sure. Now, this I picked up during San Diego Comic-Con 2016, and this was shared with FYE. Now, the story behind this is that Danny and I went into the city to celebrate our anniversary. We took the train back, and on our way home, we drove past the mall that had this FYE. And I said to Danny, I was like, would it be cool if we stopped just to check if they had it? And sure enough, this was sitting behind the counter. I walked up to the cashier and I said, is that on hold for anybody? And they said, no, did you want it? And I said, yes, yeah, I would love to buy it. So this thing has been in the collection now for well over 4 years, which is crazy. And this is an awesome 3-pack because they still haven't done a Steven Stills or a Kim Pine separately. After San Diego Comic-Con 2016, we found ourselves at New York Comic-Con 2016, and that brought us 2 Scott Pilgrim exclusives, and they are 2 of the hardest to find in the set. The first one here is Knives Chow with the digital face, and this is exclusive to 1,000 pieces, and at the time of making this video, this is worth $250 on the Funko app. Now, I made a crazy trade for this. I was able to trade a Beast Boy and a Cyborg from Toys R Us for this Knives Chow, which, looking back at it, it was a very even trade for both of us, but now that dude's got to be kicking himself because of that stupid trade he made. This was only worth around $50 for a very long time, and when I started collecting pops, Toys R Us found, I guess, a huge box, a huge pallet of Teen Titans pops in their warehouse, and they just started sending them out to stores. So I traded those 2 Teen Titans for this Knives Chow right here, and the Teen Titan pops have been they've always fluctuated. Sometimes they're worth around like 70, sometimes they're worth around like maybe 50, but other times you'll check and they're worth like only $25. So it's a really weird set that fluctuates a lot, but this has been going up nonstop since I got it in my set, and I don't see it slowing down because of the fact that it is a hard 1,000 piece count. This next one is also a New York Comic-Con exclusive from 2016, and it is probably my #1 favorite pop in my collection, only second to maybe one other pop, and this is the Astro Boy Scott Pilgrim with the Rickenbacker base, again limited to 1,000 pieces, And at the time of making this video, this thing is worth $550 freaking dollars, which is just wild to me. This thing sat around 200 for so long, and then all of a sudden it's skyrocketed up, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. Now, another awesome trade I did for this was when they released the gold chrome robot Freddy back in, I think it was around 2016. It was right after this convention. I was able to get one of them because it was limited to 3,000 pieces, and I posted on Reddit that I had one on the way, and some guy said, oh, here, I have this Scott Pilgrim, let's go ahead and do a trade. And it is freaking minty fresh, and that's why we have this bad boy in a hard stack. So those are two of the biggest grails of this set, and I'm just so thankful to have them because now there would be no way for me to be able to get them into my set. The next two items that were released for the Scott Pilgrim set were actually Funko Shop exclusives. Here we have Todd Ingram and Envy Adams. These guys were both limited to 2,500 pieces, and they were up on the Funko Shop for a long time, if you can believe it. I remember pulling into, I was getting my undergraduate degree, I was pulling into the parking lot, and I got the notification that these went live on the Funko Shop. And I had enough time to sit in my car and say to myself, okay, this is the point in my Scott Pilgrim collection where I stop, and I'm happy with the ones that I have, and I don't complete the set, or I grab these and I continue to go down this rabbit hole. I obviously got them, and I'm glad that I did, because now these are each worth around... No. You guys just witnessed a live disaster. Envy did not get any damage in that fall, if you can believe it. A little bit in the corner, but we're good. Oh my goodness. All right, where were we? These are each worth around $175 at the time of making this video. If I had to pick a favorite here, I would say that it's probably Envy because I'm a huge Brie Larson fan. And also this pop just looks damn good. The detail on her jacket and her boots are exquisite, and Todd looks great, don't get me wrong, but I wish he glowed in the dark. Now, I just said that the Funko Shop drop was a turning point for this set because it was either I stop and cut myself off while I'm ahead, or I decide to continue to keep going down this rabbit hole. And as you can see, I continue to go down the rabbit hole, and San Diego Comic-Con 2017 was the point where I wish that I had stopped because they released not one, not two, not three, but 4 Scott Pilgrim Pops for this convention. Now, the way that the Funko Shop worked way before the most recent drops was that it was random. Essentially, every hour from Thursday to Sunday, Funko dropped a random exclusive. And there were so many exclusives that warranted a drop every day from like 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., about 6 or 7 drops a day. And you did not know which one was going to drop when. So every hour you had to pull out your phone like a dumbass and check, oh, here's the Red and Snippy 2-pack. So it was really frustrating. And this is the first one that I was able to get my hands on here, and that is the 2,500 piece count Roxy. Now this was, as I said, shared with the Funko Shop, and it worked out pretty well for me because I was on break at work, got the notification that it went live, bada bing, bada boom, and I grabbed it. It was pretty easy, actually, and it gave me hope for the other exclusives that I'd be able to get them easily, and I didn't. Spoiler alert. So this was a very easy get, and I was very happy that I was able to grab it super quick. And her pop stack just came off too. All right, guys, use me as an example. Tape your pop stack bottoms. Just do it. So there was actually another Funko Shop exclusive Scott Pilgrim Pop for this convention, and I missed it. However, I did grab the Happy Happy Joy Joy Ren and Stimpy 2-pack, and I found somebody who was like, yo, I want that, I got this, let's just make a 1-for-1. This is Scott Pilgrim with the Sword of Destiny, limited to 2,000 pieces, right? Yeah, 2,000 pieces. I can't keep up with these random piece counts for the Scott Pilgrim set. I love the detail on the shirt. The sword looks awesome, and I think it is just a really nice looking figure. Very happy with this one, and although I was super bummed I missed it, I'm glad that I was able to make that trade and add this thing to my collection. Next up, we have the Hot Topics shared Nega Scott, and I really don't care about this thing that much. I kind of only picked it up because I wanted to keep my set at 100%, and it's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's just a black and white version of the sort of Destiny one, but I think the colored one is just much more cool. It would have been cool if they made this guy a little bit more transparent to match the movie, or maybe even give him a little glow just for a little personality, but this just feels like a lazy variant of the other one. Also, one thing about the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives that I forgot to point out while I was filming this video is that Scott here is $459 for number, right? And then Roxy is $460, and then 10 numbers later is this stupid Nega Scott. So it leads me to believe that they made this one, and And then we're like, let's do a variant of Scott. Why not? Because it's 10 numbers later. So it makes me believe that this Nega Scott was kind of like an afterthought. And the same with this one here. This one's cool, but not really my favorite from the set. This is the Toys R Us Plumtree Scott Pilgrim, and this was it was supposed to be a first to market thing. They launched this alongside of another, I think it was X-23 from the X-Men, but I could be wrong on that. This is, of course, a Toys R Us shared exclusive, only at Toys R Us, and it's actually the only retailer exclusive in this set. There's no Hot Topic, no GameStop, no Best Buy, nothing like that. And I kind of wish that this thing had some sort of, I'll try and get closer for you guys, like a special sticker of some sorts, maybe like a first to market Toys R Us, or maybe like a San Diego shared Toys R Us type sticker. I don't know. Would be kind of cool if it had its own thing rather than the generic Toys R Us. So after San Diego Comic-Con 2017, we got nothing for New York Comic-Con, which was a nice little break for us Scott Pilgrim collectors. But then 2018 was the year of the 2-pack. It was so frustrating because with every major convention, we got another 2-pack from Scott Pilgrim, and it just became a little draining after a while. The first one we got was this awkward 4,000 piece Gideon and Ramona Flowers 2-pack, and out of all the 2-packs released this year, this was my favorite. I love the green hair Ramona. I always thought it was where they only did the pink hair at this point, of course. So seeing the green hair one was pretty cool. Although I kind of wish that it was 2 individual pops rather than the 2-pack. And of course I understand why they did the 2-pack because of that final scene, but I don't know. I feel like Gideon would have been an awesome single, and maybe they could have released this at some point, but I feel like Gideon could have been his own thing. I don't know. That's just kind of my opinion on it. And as I was saying, this is limited to 4,000 pieces, which is kind of very big in terms of a piece count compared to the 1,000 piece or 2,500 piece. So this was relatively easy to get. For San Diego Comic-Con, we got a 2-pack of Matthew Patel and the Demon Chick. And now this is one that I feel very passionately about because I feel like rather than doing him with just one Demon Chick, they should have done another 3-pack with 3 different Demon Chicks in 3 different positions and then done Matt separately. I feel like it would have added just a little bit more personality to this rather than just having him with one. Felt a little weird in my opinion. Then we moved to New York Comic Con 2018 and we get the Katayanagi twins. Katayanagi, Ken Katayanagi, Kyle Katayanagi. I don't know. Now, this is a 2-pack I actually wanted to pick up in comparison to the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, and was very happy with this. I'm glad that this makes sense for a 2-pack. I mean, this makes complete sense. This is a huge, awesome scene with the little dragons that they do. It was awesome. One of my favorite moments from the movie, and it would have been weird to have not done a 2-pack for these guys. So this actually makes sense in comparison to the other 2-packs. I think this is actually a very sweet one of my favorites from the year. And I mean, there's not much to say about it. They look great, cool looking figures, very nice detail on them. Now, during this 2-pack fever, we also got a Canadian Expo exclusive Lucas Lee. Now, this was shared with the Funko shop and has that little shared sticker on it rather than the actual one that happened up in Canada. So this is freaking awesome. This is so hysterical because Lucas Lee is Canadian and then they made it a Canadian exclusive. It was just so perfect. I wonder if Funko like held off on Lucas being a pop for so long because they knew that at some point they would do Canadian Expo exclusives and they wanted to hold off on doing it. But this will be a permanent staple in my collection because of the history that it has with that sticker and because I think it is just a hysterical way to release this item. Emerald City 2019, we finally went back to normal pops and we have Ramona Flowers with the hammer. Now this was one that of course was looking us all right in the face because we got a rock candy of Ramona at the previous Emerald City for 2018 where she's holding this hammer. So of course they're going to do a pop of it. Now I imagine this is going to be the last Ramona variant we get because she only has 3 hairstyles, 3 hair colors in the movie. And at the time of making this video, it doesn't go for a lot of money. So if you're trying to pick up some Scott Pilgrim pops, this is definitely one that I recommend. San Diego Comic-Con 2019 was one of my least favorite Comic-Cons in recent history. And this 2-pack is one of my least favorite Comic-Con items in recent history as well. And this is the Vegan Police. I got a damaged one, which is a whole other story, by the way. But this just is... I mean, it's alright, don't get me wrong. It's a real niche moment. It's pretty cool, but I don't think it needed to exist. I really do not think that this needed to happen. It would have been cool to have had them a bit more action-y, maybe, is what I'm looking for from them. They look just kind of like they're standing there. Maybe they could have done like a moment where they are breaking through the wall. Maybe put a brick wall thing behind them rather than just the Scott Pilgrim sheet in there. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but it looks just like the back of the box. Would have been cool to maybe do a brick wall with it kind of being open in the back. That would have added a little bit more personality to it. And then that brings us to San Diego Comic-Con 2020 with Wallace Wells with the phone, and this is one that I feel very passionately about because they changed the motherfucking box on this thing. Like, tell me this isn't the most frustrating shit you've ever seen in your life. So you have all of these pops from this movie that all have the same box, and then all of a sudden, with one release, you change the box. I don't understand. Like, why do you need to change the box? It looked fine the way it is, and they're doing this with a whole bunch of lines. They did it with Scooby-Doo, they did it with The Office, and now they're doing it with Scott Pilgrim. So it's very frustrating for me because I want to keep this collection, you know, all in a line, numerical order, and I have this one dumbass in a different colored box. But that is the entire Scott Pilgrim collection. This collection has been a labor of love. There's been low points with some of these really hard to get exclusives. There have been high points where I have been able to get some awesome trades and get some of these items in my collection. But at the end of the day, I think the Scott Pilgrim set is really nice to collect because I love the movie, because I love music and video games, so it's just a mesh for me. And then, of course, it is kind of fun. You know, a lot of things in the Funko community have become a little mainstream. They've become much more accessible. So having some exclusivity and having some things that are hard to hunt for, a little bit of frustration to me is fun. Make sure you guys leave me a comment down below letting me know what you think of both my personal Scott Pilgrim collection as well as what you think of what Funko is doing with the Scott Pilgrim license. Do you like the pops they're doing? Do you not like the pops that they're doing? Let's have a conversation down below in the comments. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I absolutely appreciate the support. Don't forget to collect what you love, even when what you love is a bunch of overly priced Scott Pilgrim pops. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, guys, I will see you soon.